There are 4 main beaches in Venice, Florida,
and 1 secret one.
And in this video, we're going to show you around
and tell you everything you need to know about all 5. Let's go!
The first one is Venice Beach.
Venice is a great beach, probably the most popular one because it's right down from the downtown and Heritage Park, which is like a walkway trail thing you can take from the downtown to the beach.
They have restroom facilities available to you. There's a little food shack where you can get snacks.
It's not as good as some of the other beaches for a couple of certain activities that we'll tell you about a little bit later, but they also have volleyball nets, lifeguards, wash stations, which I think all the beaches do in this video.
And also there is a lot of little different parks nearby. They also have a drum circle once a week. It is a few hours before sunset, right until sunset.
And that's kind of cool because on top of the drums, you'll catch people doing hula hoops, dance, and pretty much anyone's welcome to join in, although we haven't jumped in the circle yet. Also, there's a nice little walkway that you could take out for your coolers and things like that. That makes it easier to wheel those out.
There's many different condo buildings on the beach and across from the beach as well.
And if you're interested in buying one, make sure you call, text, or email Haiti. She is a realtor in the area. Information in the description below. This is probably the easiest beach to find and one of the most well-known. It's right off of Venice Avenue, but I will say some of the other ones are gaining some popularity. That brings us to the next one.
And this is Caspersen Beach. Caspersen Beach is known by locals, although it has been gaining popularity with tourists as well, and it is known because of all the shark teeth that you can find and also all the shells.
And that's prehistoric shark teeth, just so you know. You don't have to worry about sharks swimming in the water.
Well, there could be some though.
That's true. One other thing that I think stands apart about this beach is it's very unspoiled, untamed. It's got more of that natural feel to it. The drive there, as you could see a bit ago, is cool with the dunes to the side.
And it almost feels like you're driving into a jungle when you're driving in, just because of all the wild palm trees. The rocks, as you can see on the shoreline, they have a lot of moss.
And one other thing that stands out about this beach to me is if you walk further down, it almost seems like you're on a deserted island. There's really not too many beaches in Florida where you're gonna get that feel.
There are restroom facilities here, wash stations. One thing we forgot to mention with Venice Beach is there is free parking. Also free parking here in Caspersen. Pretty much everywhere around the Venice area you are going to find free parking.
That's definitely a perk. As you know, in a lot of the other big beach cities, you are gonna have to pay for parking, so it makes it a lot easier just to decide to go on a whim. And also on that note, Caspersen is probably the beach that would give Venice its name as shark tooth capital of the world because it's become so famous for being able to find those teeth. Next beach is also pretty famous in the area and kind of touristy to some degree, and that's for a very different reason, and it's Brohard Beach.
And the reason why this beach is so famous around the area is because we have Sharky's and Finn's, which are 2 restaurants here that you're looking on the screen, and then there's also Venice Fishing Pier, and people will actually go here for sunsets, and the sunsets just look beautiful under the bridge.
Yeah, actually, I think all the beaches are kind of known for catching sunsets, but this is probably one of the hot spots. We'll talk about one of the other ones at the end of the video. One other thing to know about the fishing pier is you can actually fish there without a license, so that's a really cool perk to this beach. And you'll see a lot of people also at Sharky's and Finn's just grabbing tropical drinks, hanging out on the beach. So it's just a little bit different vibe, different scene, because there are those restaurants and bars right there.
One other thing to note is that there is a huge parking lot here, but it tends to get pretty packed.
And that's actually the case for a lot of the beaches, but I'd say this one is more so than the others, and it's crazy because how big is it? It's like a Walmart-sized parking lot. Next beach is pretty cool, and again, unique and different from the other ones. Has a nice perk because you can have your dog there off a leash. It's called South Brohard Dog Beach, and our dog loves it there.
Yeah, I would say this is her favorite beach.
It's her only beach
she can go to. But yeah, dogs, as you can see, are pretty happy. A lot of times they just play with each other on the sand, try to get each other's toys.
Definitely for dog lovers. The city as a whole, I think, of Venice is great for dog lovers, and this beach is a good example of that. One other thing to note is that they do have a lot of poop bag stations around and garbage cans for that, and they also have like a little actual dog park before the walkway that you can take your dog to and they can play around there.
And they have wash stations for your dog, so a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll just bring their shampoo and just give the dogs a bath. And we actually noticed this is a great time for our dog to go to the beach, take a bath, and be happy for the rest of the day and tired the next day.
And actually, I gotta say, the hoses there are amazing. Like, they're so great for like, it just tons of water with lots of powder, so it gets all that sand off of their underside pretty good. And as you can see, they also do have wash stations and bathrooms for the humans.
There is also a park right next to this beach where you can actually go for a walk. There's a big pond and you can walk around the pond, and there's a pavilion where people usually have parties during the week or on the weekend. The next one is South Venice Beach, and we can't say much about this beach because we haven't actually been to it.
But it is kind of cool because it's a completely private beach. So if Caspersen kind of has that private island feel or whatever you want to call it, this probably does even more so. We have seen a lot of pictures. You do need to take a ferry to get there. It does charge a small yearly fee, and I believe you have to be a South Venice resident to get that pass.
This is where you take the ferry, and yes, you have to get on the ferry to go to the beach, so we will have to do that sometime.
And finally, there's one kind of beach. It's not actually a beach because there's really not much sand, but it's the jetty, which if you want to see more about that, check out the video that's popping up on the screen right now. That's a very cool area.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the area, make sure to call, text, or email me. I am a local realtor here. Information will be in the description box below.
Leave a comment, let us know which of the beaches was your favorite. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn on all notifications, and live breezy.